Hello there, in this tutorial I'm going to discuss about transparent mode of VTP VLAN traffic protocol. So transparent mode is like a gateway, and basically the switches will not enter the database of VLAN, which is configured in the server switch. For example, let me show you the how to configure it. So 23 to 23, 24 to 24. Okay. Now this particular switch is a server. This particular switch going to be a client of the switch. For some reason, I want this switch not to use the database of server switch. So how to do that, how to make it as transparent so that this switch will not have the database of this server switch and easily transfer the client switch. So at switch 2 you have to make changes. So for example, let me show VLAN, and you can see that the VLAN names are there, sales and the counts. So these are the switches. These are the VLAN created in the switch. Now I have to create this switch as transparent mode. So config T. Sorry. Okay, so show VTP status. Let me make a command first. Now currently this switch is a server, and we can see the it is currently a server. Every switch is by default considered as a server. But here what we need to do is have to make some changes. So configuration mode, VTP transparent. Let me show you VTP mode. Okay, now we already learned about the VTP modes. We know that VTP mode could be a client, VTP mode could be a server, VTP mode. We're going to learn that VTP mode will how to configure the transparency. VTP mode, we have three types: server, who hold the database of VLAN; client, who took the database from the server as a file is VLAN.dat; and transparent mode will just pass out the data and not configure it on the database, not make a change on their database. So I have to make a changes according to. So transparent mode, this is what we're going to do. VTP mode transparent. Now setting device to VTP transparent mode. Now I have to select the ranges. So IN range fast Ethernet 0/23 to 24. Fast Ethernet we're going to select. Now we have to select switch port mode. Now we all know the switch port mode have three-way access: dynamic, trunk. Trunk means switch to switch. Access means switch to PCs. Dynamic, well, dynamically consider switch port mode. So either switch or PC, dynamic will able to understand it, the required command. So we have to select the trunk. Now you can see the entire port is now up, going to up, and currently it's down because we just changed the modes. Now what we need to do here, now let me show the show VTP status. Currently it's server, operating mode is server. Very interestingly, you can see the domain name. This particular switch able to understand the domain of this network. We're able to get that, but still the operating mode is on server, and since it's a server, it still not registered the database of VLAN. You can see currently only by default VLAN is created, but since we have to make this switch as a client, it will exchange the data and it will feed up the VLANs on their own. So VTP configuration mode. Now VTP mode client, VTP domain, the domain will be Tech Engineer TV. A VTP password have to set, and all done. So let me show the show VTP status. Now currently you can see the operating mode is changed to client and number of VLANs is increased. Before the VLAN was 5, now the existing VLANs are changed to 7. So since it's 7, means our switch now took the database of the VLANs from the server switch. You can see the sales and accounts. Before there was no manually created VLAN, but once this switch become a client of server switch, you can see the 2 VLANs are now added in the database. Now you can see the VTP status is client. Now let me show you the switch 2. Show VTP status. You can see the operating mode is transparent, and since it's a transparent, not even a domain name is there, and existing VLANs are 5. It means that this server able to bypass the data into the switch 3, but switch 2 not accepted the database. Let me show the VLAN thing to make you clear. Now you can see the show VLAN, and still we have only 5 by default VLANs present in the switch, and that's it. We don't have any other configurations are there. Nothing. Only 2 by default VLANs. That shows that this particular VLAN, this particular switch is a transparent mode, and only its working is to just bypass the database and not to accept it, not to make a changement on it, and not to save those in a database, not to get configure from server switch, but its only work is to bypass the database and behave as a gateway. So hope you learned something about the transparent mode of the VTP. This is just a mode it's practical wise, it's not that things to learn, but since it's a conceptual thing, we even can figure it. I hope you learned something from it. Thanks for watching.